In this video, I will be giving a general overview about the Rubik's Cube and how it works, the different pieces, how it moves. And this is a regular Rubik's Cube, and this is a speed cube. Either one works, they do the same thing. So the different pieces of the cube are center pieces, that's the first kind. So those are right in the middle of all this. So this is your white center, your green center, your yellow center piece. The other type of piece is an edge piece. So those have two sides or two colors. So this is your white and green edge. This is your red and blue edge. So they have two colors on it. The other type of piece you have is a corner piece. So those are obviously in the corners, and they have three colors on it. So white, red, green, that's your white, red, green corner piece. This would be your orange, blue, yellow corner piece. So those are the pieces that are in the corners. The cube also has 6 different colors on the different faces. So you have the blue face and green face, opposite. You have the white and the yellow are opposite. And then the orange and the red are opposite. And a face is normally represented by a side that you're looking at. So center pieces, they never move. Green will always be opposite of blue, yellow will always be opposite of white, and so on. And so this green center piece means that this would be the green face. Even if it wasn't solved and these were all mixed up, since the green center always stays here, this would be the green face, this is the orange face, and this is the blue face. And each piece is restricted by the colors that it has. So a center piece will always just stay here. So the red center piece is the red face, so you want all these to be red. But you can't just have any red right here, because this is the green face, so green has to be right here. So if this red piece was here, it would be red yellow, which wouldn't match green, so that's not correct. And same thing goes for the corners. So this corner has to be orange, green, white. Even if you had a white here but it had blue and red, you would never be able to solve it because you have to have an orange and a green and a white right at this point. The next part to talk about on the cube are the different layers. So typically when you're solving the Rubik's Cube, you would start with white on the bottom, and you would want to solve the white side first. Then you don't solve a side at a time, you solve a layer at a time. So you want to solve the white layer, so this whole bottom layer right here. And then once your first layer is solved, then you would move on to the next layer. So you would want to start solving these different edge pieces, and once that's done, you will move to the top layer. So you start with white, getting all of them in the correct pieces, finish off the second layer, finish off the top layer. There is an easy method to solve it layer by layer, which I will be teaching the CFOP method. So you will learn more about how to solve it layer by layer in a later video. So what we just covered is enough to move on to the next video, but if you want to learn a little bit more, you can stick around, and I'll be giving some more tips and a little bit more in-depth training on how to use the cube. So when you're turning the cube, each face, depending on where you're looking at it, will have a name. So if you're looking at the green face, the orange face would be your right face. The red face would be your left face. The yellow would be your U face for up. And then the white face would be the D face for down. If you were to turn and look at a different side, then the same rules apply. The one on the right is the R, the right face. The one on the left is the L, or left. Blue would be your U. Green would be your D. The way we will be solving it, white will always be down, yellow will always be up, and depending on the case you're on, you might be looking at different faces. The names of the turn have to do with the sides, but there's also a clockwise turn and a counterclockwise turn. So how you want to think of it is if you were looking at the face, this would be clockwise, that would be counterclockwise. If you're moving clockwise, it's just the letter. If you're moving counterclockwise, it's that letter prime. So for example, and R move would be the right side clockwise, and R prime would be the right side counterclockwise. For the left, it looks a little different because if you were to look at it, clockwise would be this way. So clockwise for the right side would be this way, clockwise for the left side would be that way. So if you ever get confused, just look at the face and turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. For the other moves you could have, a U would be clockwise on the up layer, a U prime would be counterclockwise. The D, you have to think about it if you were looking up, so a D would be this way, a D prime would be that way, and then for the back face, a B would be this way, and B prime would be that way. Most beginners turn the cube by using all wrist turns, which is completely fine, and if you want to turn it that way, that is okay. There are more optimal moves, which we call finger tricks, and so you basically want to leave your hand like this, and you would turn the U this way, U prime that way, or you can push with your fingers. For the front face, you can bring your finger down or push. You can use your thumb. You can pull down with your thumb. You can use your ring fingers for the bottom. And then for the back, you can regrip and use your fingers this way. In my tutorial videos, if you want to use wrist turns, that's totally fine. I will try my best to use all good finger tricks, so if you ever want to use good finger tricks, you can just try to mimic the way I'm turning the cube. So that is all the basics you need to know about how the cube works and how to turn it. So you are now ready to start solving the cube. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video.